So hello guys, welcome to javaisawesome, and in this video we talk about top most popular interview questions, okay, in the interview room. So I hope you already know like what are the top most interview questions, but I'm going to show you this is the very important questions, and I hope you see these questions in the each and every interview, maybe 2 or 3 questions. Okay, so let's start now. The first question is, what is the object oriented programming language? So many times the interviewer asks you, hey, do you know about what is oops? So you have to simply tell that oops is a programming paradigm, okay, and that used object to design and organize the code. It revolves around the concept of object which which contain data in the form of the fields like attribute, property and code in the form of the procedure or method. Okay, that is called oops. The main aim of the object oriented programming is to implement the real world entity. For example, object classes, abstraction, inheritance and polymorphism. And if you like, so many times some people will ask you, do you know what are the features of oops? So you can give this example: polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, object, class or abstractions. Okay, that's it. Your interviewer will happy with you. What is the second question is, what is encapsulation? So many interviewers will ask you, hey, what is encapsulation? So encapsulation is the bundling of the data and the method. So this is the methods and this is the data. So bundling the data and methods that operate that on in the single unit is known as the classes. It helps in the hiding the implementation details and restricting access to the internal state of the object. Internal state of the object, it means that if you create any encapsulated classes, in that what we are doing, we are creating lots of variables, and for those variables we are creating method, and we are providing this variable access with the help of the method only. That is called encapsulation. Okay, if you see here, the encapsulation means we are taking the any capsules. Okay, so if you take any capsules, you can just touch this capsule, you can't touch the inside this data means what are the materials we have fulfilled inside this. Okay, those we can't touch it. We are eating these capsules only. Once you eat this capsule, the materials will automatically remove and you can use the actual materials in your body. Okay, so in the same way we are using the method, but inside the methods we are using the value, which variables value. Okay, so the above capsules plastic is nothing but class, and the value which we are going to access, that is called a method, and variable is the actual part or actual materials of that capsule. In the same way we have a class, methods or variables access with the help of the method, that is called encapsulation. Okay, let's go to the third questions. Third question is, what is inheritance? Inheritance is also very popular questions in the interview room. Okay, so what is inheritance? Inheritance is the mechanisms in the oops that allow a class to inherit a properties and behavior of another class or parent class, you can say. It promotes code reusability and establishes the relationship between the superclass, which is base class, and a subclass, it means drive class. So superclass means base class or subclass means drive class, we are saying generally. So whenever you want to establish the connection between superclass and subclass, you have to take the help of the inheritance. With the help of the extend or implement keyword, we can provide the relationship between them. Okay, in the same way we have a superclass, multiple subclass we have. In the same way we have a one superclass, then subclass 1, then subclass 1. So in this way we have a single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance and multiple inheritance. Those are supporting by the Java itself. So this is the entire things of the inheritance. Or might be the interviewer ask you, hey, what are the inheritance type, or how many types of the inheritance are exist and supports in Java. So those types you can explain. Okay, and what is the way to extend, like extend or element keyword we are using to provide the relationship between the superclass and subclass. Okay, that's enough to explain in the interview room. What is polymorphism? So polymorphism is one of the also most important interview questions. Polymorphism allow a object with the different type to be treated as a object. So polymorphism allow object of different type of treated and object of a common type. It can take two forms: compile time polymorphism, which is method overloading we are saying, and runtime polymorphism, it means method overriding we are saying. Okay, so whenever people ask you how many types of the polymorphism, you can say two types, or you can say compile times or run times. If they ask some different way, then you can say method overloading or method overriding. Okay, so this is the two types of the polymorphism: compile time or run time. Compile time polymorphisms, we have a operator overloading, method overloading, and runtime polymorphism we have a method overriding. Correct? Method operator overloading, you know, plus plus, minus minus. Method overloading, you know, in the same class having a multiple method with the same signature, that is called a method overloading with different parameters. Method overriding means we have a two class, parent class or subclass. Parent class method is exist in the subclass also with the same signature, that is called method overriding. I hope you understood what is the method overriding, method overloading or operator overloading, and what are the types of the polymorphism and what is exactly polymorphism. Okay, let's move to the next questions, which is question number 5, and that is very important also. What is abstractions? Abstraction is part of the OOPS concept features also, and it's a very important question. So many people, so many interviewers are asking directly this, like, what is abstractions? So abstractions is a process of simplifying a complex systems by modeling classes and based on the essential features and ignoring the non-essential details, involves creating abstract classes and interface to represent a common abstraction object. So it means that if you talk about vehicles, so vehicles is one of the class which the every vehicles, you know, like they have some method, they have some behavior, like we can drive the vehicles, we can stop the vehicles, we can start the vehicles. So those are the common features for the car, bike or a scooter. So those methods we can commonly define in the vehicles class, and we can reuse inside the car or bike or scooter. That is called abstractions. We are providing the abstractions on that. Or maybe some of the method which not exist for the vehicles and separately they have exist for the car, bike or a scooter, then we can do the override of those methods and we can use it. So while doing overriding, we can say those are the part of abstractions. Okay, let's move to the next questions. Abstractions. So abstractions is the process of simplifying the complex system by modeling classes based on the essential features and ignoring the essential details. So this is the currency, and this currency is divided with the dollar, euro and pounds. They have a separate rate for each and every time. Dollar having a different rate, euro having a different rate, pound having a different rates. But if you write some method here and if you force to override those method here, and they will provide our own implementations, that is called abstractions. So we are providing abstractions on that. Difference between the method overloading and method overriding, that is also very important question. So many interviewer will ask you directly what is method overloading and what is method overriding. So if I talk about in Java, method overloading occurs within the same classes. Remember this, same classes. Method overloading occurs within the same classes when there are multiple method with the same name but different parameter. That is called method overloading. Method overriding happens in the subclasses. Subclasses means in that it will involve two classes. Method overriding involves two classes, where subclasses and parent classes or base classes or subclasses, where a method has the same signature as a method in its superclasses. That is called method overriding. So this is the method overloading and this is the method overriding. If you want to compare it, you can say method overloading is a compile time polymorphism, method overriding is a runtime polymorphism. It's occur within the classes, it's occur perform the two classes with the inheritance. Method overloading may or may not require inheritance, while method overriding always need a inheritance. In this method must have the same name and different signature, while in this method must have the same name and same signatures. So this is the some differences which we have learned about our like method overloading and method overriding. and those are 7 questions which I provide you. Those are the very important for your interview role related to the OOPS concept. If you know that much questions, it's a good enough to crack easily your interview. Okay, thank you so much.